Joe, we know you've had a busy few days on and off the field. Can you take us through your experiences of the last 48 hours or so?
Yeah, pretty cool. Obviously, headed back, when was it now? A couple of days ago. Fortunate enough to be able to leave early and missed the birth of my first child, so it was good to get there and see my little girl come into the world. So yeah, pretty special couple of days.
And those of us who've been through it know it can be a sleepless time. How have you been getting on for Kip?
Very good last night because I stayed at the hotel and got about 10 hours, I think. The previous night I had about 3 hours, so yeah, certainly caught up on that last night.
And just obviously, I know you'd have no doubt loved to make a ton, but having a second kid, putting England into a really, really strong position and getting your Test best score, would you settle for that?
Yeah, probably. It would have been nice to get to that milestone, of course, having worked so hard to get into that position. But like you say, England are in a very good position. So going into day 4, hopefully we can get a few more runs and put them under pressure.
Joe, you were out there for a lot of the first session when there was a little bit of tension between, certainly in the field for Australia. I mean, what's your impression of Matthew Wade and his chirp in the field, and what are your thoughts on what happened this morning?
I think it's two very competitive teams playing in a pretty big series, of course. And I think Matthew Wade's a very competitive player and just trying to do his best for Australia. And of course, there's always going to be a little bit of niggle out there. But yeah, nothing too over the line or anything like that. Just a bit of friendly banter.
Just to pick up on that, you were out there batting with Ben Stokes. Were the Australians trying to make references to Bristol in an attempt to unsettle him?
No, I didn't hear anything about Bristol. Of course, when Ben Stokes comes to the crease, being the kind of player he is, they're going to try and unsettle him, I think. And Stokesy deals with that pretty well. I think he's shown that throughout the series.
And was there anything directed at you, maybe from some conversations with Steve Smith?
No. No, nothing directed at me. Just asking me if I'd had any sleep and, pretty friendly banter. No. No, we haven't named her yet. I think she's going to be nameless for a few days, and once I get back from this series, we'll have a chat about that. But she's got some interesting names on her list, so hopefully I can persuade her otherwise.
Your choice, or do you get overruled with it?
Hopefully I can persuade her to go with the name that I like, but we'll see.
Joe, there's kind of talk about the winter and that sort of stuff. Did you feel that this was a really significant innings in terms of putting your case for inclusion on the Test tour to New Zealand?
Yeah, I hope so. I think when you're batting at the top of the order for England, there's always that pressure and expectation from England supporters for you to score runs and do well. And, it's been frustrating at times this series to get starts and not be able to capitalise. And felt pretty good today. It's a very good bowling attack we're coming up against. Each game, which you expect at Test level, but I think this Australian attack is certainly up there and make you work hard for every single run. So hopefully I've impressed the selectors and those guys that pick these winter tours, and we'll just have to wait and see.
Ali, then we'll do Robin, and then one more after that.
Joe, when you were asked to open, which was 2 tests ago now, I mean, how was that put to you, and is that now a job that, as we sort of look ahead to winter tours and future challenges, that's a job that you'd like to now make your own?
I think wherever Ruti asks me to bat, I don't think I'm in a position to demand where I want to bat. To be playing for England is a privilege, certainly at my age. I didn't think I'd be here probably a couple of years ago, so to get the opportunity to open the batting for England is very special. And if that opportunity presents itself again in the future, then I'll be more than happy to do it, yeah.
Cool. And can I just check, you said you missed number one? You missed the birth of number one. What happened there?
I did, yeah. I was in Derby.
Oh God. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. He arrived 3 weeks early, and I was in Derby. I was batting overnight, actually, and got a call about 5 in the morning, and she said that I think the baby's on the way, but the midwife said don't rush. So I didn't. Strolled down, had some breakfast, and then hit rush hour traffic on the way back and missed it by about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Tim Payne was just in here joking that he'd have to take an umpire's course given how poorly he's done with reviews. With the one that hit you on the pads, did you think first up you might be in a bit of trouble?
Yeah, I thought that hit me. I think as a batter, when it hits you on the pads, you get a feeling straight away if it's close. And yeah, I thought that was pretty close. And thankfully, Murray didn't put his finger up. But yeah, if he had given it out, I probably would have reviewed it.